Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another edition of Hilaal Live. I'm your host, Luqman Shadrack. Thanks for joining us. Over the weekend, a couple of brave swimmers decided to embark on a relay from Robben Island to Blobergstrand. Now, this was in aid and to raise awareness for what is exactly happening every day. We see the footage coming out of Gaza. And they've decided to raise funds, but also create an awareness around what is happening in Gaza at the moment. In studio, I'd like to now welcome part of the swimmers. It's a two-part series. The first part, I'd like to welcome Brother Anwar Rinquist. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Shukran for having us.
My absolute pleasure. And then also Tanya Lane, who embarked on this brave and cold swim. Thanks for joining us, Tanya.
Thank you.
And then also Shadali Tofi, who also decided, for whatever reason, to wake up early in the morning and embark on this amazing swim. Assalamu alaikum. Thanks for joining us.
Wa alaikum salam. Shukran for having us.
So the awareness that most of us try and create this awareness around what is happening in Gaza, trying to raise funds, trying to let other people know that the genocide is still happening. Anwar, give us an idea on why this event was put together and how this all came together.
Okay, so I was approached about 4 months ago by a friend of mine, Ali, and he's in contact with Marion and Karen, which are friends and which I got to meet. Very busy people. They came out with this idea, just talking about it, sitting on the couch and speaking. He said, listen, because they were watching this Falsbeck crossing, you know, everybody doing something for a person or whatever body it is, and they thought let's do something, you know, and then they got in contact with the PAC and the Gift of the Givers, and Ali phoned me to say, you want to be part? We need you to be part of us. We want you to run the show on the swimming side,
right? And
that's how I got involved, and then we decided, look, we need to do this for a cause. Why? What for? And it was the Palestinian drive, raising monies, sharing, giving the funds over, handing the funds over to the Gift of the Givers, and obviously they will know what to do with the monies. You know, they're doing fantastic work.
Absolutely. We see it every day. You know, we see 100%. The involvement, we see some of the footage as well. But for those that needed a reminder, need to know exactly what's going on in Gaza at the moment. Do you have a little bit of an update for us?
I do. As you know, we had this last year and the year before at Ramadan, we had the swim, we raise money. So we're in contact with a Learn to Swim coach in Gaza.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's reached out, that unfortunately he's completely closed, and he was living on the coastline. He's completely closed down. He's been bombed out, he's been moved further up north. And we were raising funds to keep the kids in the water because he was busy teaching them daily. And that's how it all started with me. And then we lost complete contact. You know, we lost complete contact with him, and then it went very quiet because last year's Ramadan's fund monies that we raised, we handed it over as well. But it just quieted down from then, you know, because we don't actually knows, you know, what's happening out there. And then all of a sudden Ali came up with this and said, listen, we need to be. I said, yeah. I didn't even think twice. I said, no, I'm in.
Fantastic.
I'm in.
Fantastic. Love the idea. I'm going to come back to you in a bit as well, because we can talk for hours. You know, this is where we come from, this type of sport. But Tanya, thanks for joining us. And you know, being part of an event like this, especially being from the Jewish community and taking part in an awareness event like this, what does it mean to you?
Sure, for me it's a chance to, as a Jewish person, to stand up and say that what's happening in Gaza isn't happening in my name.
Okay.
And to make sure that the world knows that there's a difference between being Jewish and being Zionist.
Gotcha.
And it felt like a real privilege and a blessing to be part of this event.
Brilliant. Thank you for being part of the event and also creating the awareness as well. Is this the feeling with people that you surround yourself with your loved ones, with your community? Is this the general feeling, or do you find that it's sporadic?
My community is largely not the Jewish community, if I can put it like that. Okay. So Karen and Marion, who initiated this event, are activist friends of mine from my university days. I'm a South African. The South African community is my community. There are very mixed views out there.
Okay.
Amongst my family, this is a very difficult topic to talk about.
Gotcha.
So I'm very, and I have compassion for some of the views in the Jewish community, and people are coming from a place of fear.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I
Well,
understand that, but I think it's important to stand up.
Brilliant. I like that. Shadley, swimming, is this one of your first loves? How did you embark on this event? How did they rope you in?
So we meet on a weekend morning, and we swim in Camps Bay.
Okay.
And one day
That's really cold.
it is, which is the attraction.
Okay.
And we were approached by Karen, and she spoke about what she's planning to do.
Right.
And the fact that we can help, gift of the givers,
Right.
to help the plight in
Palestine.
from afar and raise funds, it was perfect.
People often ask, what can I do? How can I do it? I mean, even if you can't swim or take part in the relay, there's other duties that you could have done on the day as well, and we'll get to that in a bit as well. But how did you prepare? What is the distance that you covered?
Yeah. So on the day, I think each of us did about 2 kilometers, or just over 2 kilometers.
All right.
Took weeks of training because you have to acclimatize to the cold.
Gotcha. So just to let people know, if a 25-meter pool, that's 80 laps.
Got it.
Yeah?
Yes.
Got it.
That's quick maths.
We come from this industry,
Okay. And we trained through rough waters, heavy winds, which was luckily not needed on the day.
Perfect.
It
I
was
saw the
perfect
conditions
weather
looked amazing.
conditions, but it was cold.
Okay.
It was. I think it went down to about 12 degrees on the beach.
Sure.
What we did not train for though was being hauled up onto the boat.
Okay.
There was no ladder.
Okay.
So while we were doing the relay and we had to switch over, the crew helped us on board.
Fantastic.
So
But it looks
lovely.
like a lot of fun. Is it something you would attempt again?
Yes.
Brilliant. I like that answer. How did you prepare, Tanya? I mean, are you used to cold water swimming? Are you a swimmer? Give us more details.
So Sunday was my third time swimming in the open ocean.
Nice.
Only.
Okay.
I am a swimmer. So I could do like maybe 40 laps in a 25-meter pool.
Nice.
But swimming
That's
in the
39 laps more than I can do at the moment, so that's fine.
swimming in the open ocean was quite a thing for me, but I'm a lover of wild nature. So for me, there's something so special about being out there in the wild, and the way the cold. I swam in skins. I didn't swim in a wetsuit. I swam out from the beach, so it was
Brave.
about 1.6 k's that we swam. And there's the cold almost it holds you in a way. It's a very special feeling to be out there. The day we were so blessed with the conditions
Beautiful.
on the day. The training swim we'd done the week before was quite left me with my eyes very wide. It was like swimming in a washing machine. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure how I was going to get back to the shore that day.
Right.
But yeah, it was a phenomenal experience, all of it.
Stunning. And what an event like this, there's a few people I would imagine that band together and make sure that this event happens. Tell us about the logistics. The day itself, did everything run smoothly?
100%.
Swimmingly, as I would say.
Yeah. So my leg was the swimming side of things, right? To coordinate the swim. And Shadley can say that, I was strict. I was very strict with him on the boat. It's your time is your time. There's no time to debate anything. Let's move.
Yeah.
So that was my portfolio that I had in this whole event. Karen and Marion, they did most of the logistics.
Okay.
Which is awesome, amazing, and obviously Dr. Suleiman coming on board.
Sure.
So they had all that context. I was praying for good weather, I'll be honest with you.
Right.
Just to keep my side clear.
Because the weather was up and down
100%.
for the couple of days before.
Correct. There was, it was doubtful, very much. That was then a Thursday, then it was the Friday, And alhamdulillah, we had the perfect on Freedom Day, the 27th. And yes, I agree with Charlotte, it was cold, but I kept them all the way.
Fantastic. Advice to others that would like to participate in an event like this. How do they go about it? Do they just go and inquire? Do they find it from you guys? What's the best way? Anwar, what's the best advice?
The best way is come to the beach, meet us at Camps Bay, Clifton, wherever, and then you know the faces by now. I'm sure we're all over social media.
Right.
Pop in and let's talk.
Okay, great.
Because we don't know, we have a few ideas of
what's the next
coming.
event is going to. And we'll chat about that after the break as well. Shadley, very quickly.
If I can add, you need to do it regularly, just to acclimatize to the water.
I agree.
I think the swimming part of it you can do in a pool if you need to, but you need to acclimatize to the cold.
Agreed. Thanks, guys, for coming into studio. Really appreciate it. Well done. Congratulations again on completing that relay. We look forward to next year's event, inshallah. After the break, we chat to another part of the crew that took part in this event. Have a great evening. And there we go. That is the amazing people that took part in the Robben Island Palestine Relay Swim. That's the first group. We invite a few more people to come through after the break. Do stay tuned. Thanks for watching us on Hilaal Live. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Hilaal Live. Thanks for watching us. We're just chatting to the group, a new group, partly new group, on the Robben Island Palestine Relay Swim. That happened over the weekend, where a lot of awareness was created, but more importantly, much needed funds that was raised and was given to Give to the Givers to then use those funds in Palestine. In studio back again, Brother Anwar Rinquist. Always great to be in your company, sir. And we have new guests, Nadia. Assalamu alaikum. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And then also Brother Donald Graham. It's an absolute pleasure to have you in studio.
Thanks so much. Great to be here.
Nadia, let's start with you. In terms of what's happening right now in Palestine, we see some of the footage.
Yeah.
You know, we see some of the reports. Sometimes it hits home, sometimes not so much. I suppose it's where you are in your own perception on how you feel about what's happening. Give us an update about what's happening in Palestine at the moment.
I think we all know when this started now, the 7th of October 2023, I think it was gut-wrenching to see everything happening there. And then when they came to us with this, doing the relay swim for Palestine, I thought it was a great idea just to create awareness of what is happening there and what can we do. Like Dr. Suleiman said, we don't know anybody in Gaza, in Palestine, but just seeing what's happening there and the brutality that's happening there and the genocide that's happening there and what can we do to make a difference. And that swimming brought this to us, and it's something that I love doing. And then when Anwar suggested I be part of the team, and I said, obviously I'll do it, because it's something that you love doing, and to raise awareness, to raise funds, and people just donated so generously. We started this page and people were just giving money, and first I thought, is anybody going to donate to my cause? And then when I looked, the money just kept coming in and kept coming in. And it's much needed funds for Palestine. It's they need to rebuild the hospitals. Everything needs to be rebuilt there, and just that we can play a small part in that, it just makes you feel so good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you're not only just part of the organizing committee, you also swam the event. But how long have you swam for? Have you been training for years?
So I've, like you know as well, you're a swimmer. I've also been a swimmer, but a pool swimmer. So for years I swam. But I stopped for like 20 years, and then life happened. And then about 3 years ago, I met my coach here, Anwar, and then I met him in the pool, and then I said, you know what, I'd really like to do a Robben Island crossing. And then he said, why not? And then I'm like, okay. And then he started guiding me, giving me programs, and then, and that's how it all started. And then I did my first crossing in 2022. And then, I've never looked back since.
Fantastic. Well done. Well done.
Thank
Look, it's not an easy feat. I struggled in 2016. And I was quite fit then, you know, but it's like muscle memory, and you need to practice and all of that. So well done. Really, really well done. Anwar, what was the feeling like on the day? What were some of the highlights for you for this event?
Amazing. I must tell you, it was breathtaking. It was tearful. We didn't expect it. We didn't expect the crowd. When we came out, when the swimmers met us about 1.5 k's out, you know, they started singing, you know, Free Palestine.
Wow.
It Kelly was saying, you know, goggles teared up because another swimmer that swam. Anyway, so we just feel that, you know, you could walk on the water.
Right.
And when we got closer to the beach, I'm thinking, hey, what is going on? This New Year's Day? What is going on here?
It was hyperactivity.
I'm telling the people came out in the massive.
Stunning.
They came with the Palestinian flags. They came out cheering and chanting and thanking us from. Yeah, we couldn't.
So it was truly something you planned, and whatever you planned worked, and you achieved it.
Alhamdulillah, yes, perfect day. I must say, Freedom Day really came out, and we can only but say shukr. You know, the day, it was, for me, it was like going to a swimming pool, like going to Newland swimming pool. The conditions was that perfect. Regardless of the temperature, we didn't, you know, we overlooked the temperature. When we launched the boats, when we came out of that harbor, it was so beautiful all the way through. But coming to the beach, the atmosphere alone, so many people thanked us and congratulated us. It was amazing. From a 2-year-old to a 80-year-old, 90-year-old.
That's what we love to hear for events like this as well. And obviously, when you plan an event like this, there are a lot of security and safety measures, and this is where Donald comes in as well. And I believe that you were part of the safety team that ensured the safety of the swimmers. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so my friend Marion is an experienced open water swimmer, and I've been out on my paddleboard with her a few times just to support her, and she asked me if I'd be part of this, and I was delighted to agree. And the idea was that I would go out on my board with three other paddle boards.
Okay.
And we would go along with the swimmers who were swimming out to meet Anwar and Nadia as they came in.
Okay.
And the other swimmers from the island. And that we would be there to support, to provide safety. And the things we were looking out for were jellyfish and blue bottles, seals, and also people who were tired and people who were cold.
Gotcha.
So that was the idea, was that we would just provide a little bit of extra support in case it was needed. Not much of it was needed, but we were there just in case.
What was the feeling like for you to be part of an event like this? Have you taken part in other events like this?
No.
Okay.
It was what Anwar described. It was overwhelming. Just the feeling of I went out on my board away from where the swimmers came through the guard of honor and they were clapped on. So we didn't quite experience that, but we went out on our boards and we could hear the chants of free, free Palestine. It was so loud and it was so overwhelming.
Beautiful.
And we were chanting from our boards as well.
Right.
And then we went and we joined the swimmers who were swimming out. We went along with them and we swam. We went far out. We could still hear the chanting.
Stunning.
As Anwar described, thousands of people, maybe as many as 2,000 people on the beach, supporting us and cheering us on. And just to be part of it was amazing. And then as we were going out, one of the swimmers was tired and I think a bit cold.
Okay.
And then she jumped onto the back of my board, and then we could paddle around, and I could chat to her. And then she was quite insistent that she jump back in and swim back once the swimmers
I think that's the
arrived on the island.
commitment that you wanted and hoped for and achieved at the same time as well.
We were 12 swimmers initially, but I think as the months came closer and closer, there were more and more people that wanted to take part. And that's why eventually we had the swimmers coming from the shore, meeting us there, because there was just so much people that wanted to take part in it.
Amazing.
So basically everybody maybe swam just over a mile, but I mean the fact that we started off with 12 and we ended up with about 24, right, Anwar?
Amazing.
And it just shows you that it grew so quickly, and it was such an amazing experience on the boat as well. We had the perfect day. Like Dr. said, like everything just fell into place. Like, I mean, you've done the crossing as well, and you know, they give you a day, and then they're like, okay, it's not today. Then they'll say, no, it's in 2 days' time, and that's happened with me.
It's such a roller coaster of emotions.
So you don't know. So they give you a window period, and we had the window period, and then we said, no, but we want to swim on the 27th.
Yeah.
And like Doctor said, because your intention was good and your intention was so pure, that the Almighty made it that we had perfect conditions. Besides for the skin swimmers, I mean, it was a bit chilly and they felt it. We swam
I'd use
in
a
wet
5 mil wetsuit, definitely. To
So
cross.
we swam in wetsuits, which obviously helped us a bit. But even in and out of the water, we didn't need to put anything on in the wetsuit because the sun was on us all the time. So we
Right.
warmed up quite quickly and got back into the water. So yeah, it was an amazing experience.
Anwar, did you get into the water as well?
Yes,
Stunning. Okay, fantastic. Congratulations, guys, once again. It's an amazing event. I mean, everyone's talking about it. You did a great job creating that awareness, but more importantly, creating the funds. That's much needed funds to send through to Gaza as well. Brother Anwar, what's next? I know you've done the Strandfontein swim. We've now done the Robben Island.
Correct.
What's next?
The next
the
is
English
we-
Channel?
If we can get there. We first want to conquer the point, inshallah, that's the plan.
Oh, wow.
And maybe the falls. But yeah, I'm speaking of Cape Point, sorry.
Right.
Cape Point, Komiki around into into the point.
That's
inside,
really
into
choppy
the bay.
waters.
Yeah, but once again, there will be incentive to this. And we're looking at doing the Falls Bay crossing as well.
Okay.
So that's going to be a little bit more intense, but you know, we have the support of the crowds, and we have actually, you know, gift of the givers that will help us
Stunning.
in the preparation on the safety side. So we're looking at it. We're
Stunning.
looking at it.
So for other sporting codes that are wanting to do something very similar, I mean, words of encouragement for them to do this?
Yeah. All you need to do is identify a date, contact, I would say, Professor Yusuf Chetty, PhD, and get those role players involved because they are activists. They're dealing with this daily. Speak to them and they can make it happen for you. They will help you.
Okay. Nadia, for those that were there on the day to support you, to come along, you know, to the event, any words of gratitude?
Yeah, no, it was amazing. I have amazing friends. They were there the morning at the harbour coming to see me off. I'm telling them it's too early. You don't have to come. And they're like, they support me in everything I do. So they were the early morning. They came to the beach afterwards. They waited for me. So my husband that supports me in everything, he's the early. He was at the beach afterwards with me and my kids and my whole family, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my sisters. Everybody came out. It was really, really to get onto that beach. And I said I felt like a celebrity because I said when I did my single crossing, it was just my family and Anwar, my double, and then nobody knew I was doing it. And then I said, Anwar, I was so nervous about the swim. And he's like, why? You say I'm double Robben Island. I said, yeah, but nobody knew I was doing it. This, we were raising funds. We were doing it for such a good cause, and that everybody was backing you. And I think we had to feel a bit nervous about it. And we just wanted everything to be perfect. And as you know, the last minute, our boats cancelled on us, and I think we actually just had a better experience with all of us on one boat, and you know, it just worked out according to plan.
Gentlemen and lady, thank you so much.
Okay.
It's a real honor to have you in studio. Once again, congratulations on all your efforts that you've put in, and may all your future projects go from strength to strength, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Shukran so much.
Afwan. That's the Robben Island Palestine Relay Swim team, part of the team, and as you heard, many people attended the event, swam, and also showed much needed support. It's all that we have for you from the Cape Town team and from myself, Luqman Shadrack. Have a great evening. Assalamu alaikum.